Nobody is coming. Bitch, I need you to actually hear that because you have been living like the opposite is true. You have been waiting for someone to notice you, waiting for the person with authority to tap you on the shoulder and say, yes. Why, yes, you are the one. You are allowed now, waiting for the validation to show up like a magic wand that finally makes you real. And it's not coming. Nobody's going to wake up tomorrow and live your life for you. Nobody's going to hand you permission that you've been waiting decades for. There is no committee meeting somewhere deciding whether you're finally worthy of the shit that you already know you were made for. That meeting, it doesn't exist. And the person is not coming. The magic wand is not a real thing. And the part that should stop you cold is like you're already chosen. The king already picked you. The highest authority that exists already looked at you and said, that one. She is mine. I made her for this. And you're out here waiting for a follower count or a boss or a stranger on the internet to confirm what God already settled before you were born. Stop waiting for the world to choose you. You were already chosen. And today's episode is about choosing yourself. You guys, welcome to the Listen Bitch podcast. Thank you so much for the grace and patience because I've been gone. You know, I could just give you the whole list, but you know what's going on. I've got a Marine that's gone 3 weeks now. My other son is actually gone. I think we're taking a shot of him trying to work potato harvest in Colorado. If you guys know about that, you just genuinely know about it. And if you don't, like, you just don't. But it's an incredible work experience. And I think it'd be great for him because he already has incredible work ethic. And plus, my dad and my sister are just eating it up that they actually had three of my kids this weekend. So they're just keeping one. So going through that and just sitting in the fact I am a single mom of just two littles at home. I feel like I have two littles left at home, even though my baby is still just 16. He's like a social butterfly, just out and about and very ambitious. So, is he the kid that's going to live in my basement forever? Unfortunately, no, but I still have two. So, I'm holding out for that forever child. Just kidding. You guys, if you don't know who I am, I'm Brandon Lynette. If you're new here, welcome. I am the Voice Authority podcast coach. Your mess is your message and your potential is your purpose. And really, I'm here to help you get the fuck over yourself and go build something. And this one comes from watching so many people I love. Yes, I'm talking about you. Sit around waiting to be picked, waiting to be discovered, waiting for the external stamp of approval that they've decided has to come before they're allowed to move. And on some level, I get it. I genuinely get it because we're all trained to wait to be chosen, right? To be picked for the team, like you learned that, to be called on in class, promoted by the boss, selected, approved, validated by someone with more authority than we have. And like the whole system runs on waiting to be chosen. And it's going to keep you in a waiting room your entire life if you let it. Before I dive too far in, you know, today is brought to you by Super Patch, and we're going to talk about victory. Do I have a victory here? That is not one I wear every single day. Victory today. Before choosing yourself and actually moving on it takes a body operating at full capacity. Victory supports your performance, your strength, your stamina, even neurofunction. It is drug free, made in the USA. This is a vibrotactile technology working directly through your nervous system. You guys, I always have the link in the show notes. So let's talk about the waiting room that you've been in, bitch, because maybe you don't even see it. So let's just call this awareness really fast. You are in a waiting room. You've been in it for fucking ever. And you think that you're being patient or humble or responsible, doing the right thing by waiting your turn. But like, nobody's going to call your name. There is no receptionist here. And the door you keep staring at, waiting for someone to come through it and choose you, it doesn't lead anywhere. You built that room yourself out of every time you were taught that permission comes from outside of ourselves. And think about what you're actually waiting for. Someone with a bigger platform to share your work? Is that what you're waiting for? Or someone with more authority to tell you that you're ready? Maybe you're waiting for enough followers or enough credentials, enough proof that other people approve before you let yourself go all in. You have made it, you've made your own permission contingent on other people's validation. And other people are busy in their own shit doing the exact same thing. So it's like everybody's just in a waiting room waiting for someone else and fuck people's validation. The cruelest part is that the validation, even say it comes, it never does what you think it will. You think it's if you just get chosen, like if you just get the followers, or if it just goes viral, or the yes or the recognition, and then you finally feel allowed. That shit doesn't work. People get the thing they were waiting for, and then they feel empty within a week because external validation cannot fill an internal hole that we have inside of ourselves. You will get chosen by the world and still not feel chosen because you never really chose yourself. And that's the only choice that was ever going to land. Get up, get the fuck out of the waiting room. The door's not locked. You just keep waiting for someone else to open it. And you're already chosen. This is what should change everything in your life today if you actually let it. Yes, life changing. That's what the show is about. You were already chosen, not by a bullshit platform, not by an algorithm, not by a boss or an audience or a gatekeeper. You were handpicked by God before you were formed, before you had a single follower or accomplished anything, before you had any credentials. The king of everything looked at you and he chose you and he set you apart and he assigned you a purpose that nobody else on earth can fulfill in your place. That is not a nice little sentiment for a coffee cup. Okay, I'm not trying to make you an Instagram poster. That is the actual hierarchy of authority. The highest authority that exists already made the call on your life. So, what actually are you waiting for? Whose validation could possibly rank above the one who made you? And you're standing there holding a yes from God, waiting for a maybe from a complete stranger, and you're calling the stranger's opinion more real. When you wait for the world to choose you, you're telling God that his choice was not enough, that you need it confirmed by someone with fewer credentials than the creator of the entire universe, that the followers matter more than the fingerprints he left on you when he made you on purpose for a purpose. You already have the only yes that was ever going to matter. Everything after that is just you deciding whether you believe it. Choosing yourself is not arrogance. It is agreement. It is you finally saying the same thing about yourself that God has already said. And there's a real reason that waiting to be chosen feels safer than choosing yourself. And it's worth understanding so you can stop bowing down to it, stop obeying it. Your brain is a social survival machine. And for most of human history, being selected by the group or being chosen or being approved, being kept in, that was directly tied to staying alive. Okay? Being rejected meant being cast out, and cast out meant you're going to die. So your brain assigns this enormous weight to external validation. When someone approves of you, when your brain releases a hit of reward chemistry that feels like safety, or when you put yourself out there without approval, or your brain reads it as danger, as stepping out of the group's protection, and it floods you with enough fear to pull you back into the waiting room. The chemicals are real. That's why choosing yourself feels so exposed. You're overriding a survival instinct that equates being chosen with being safe. Your body genuinely believes that moving without permission could get you cast out and killed. It is an ancient alarm firing in a modern world where the stakes are completely different, but the alarm doesn't know that, right? It's just firing. And what waiting does to you over time, like every time you're waiting for that external validation instead of moving on your own authority, you reinforce the pathway that says, I'm not allowed to act until someone approves. You train your own brain to learn helplessness into the belief that action requires outside permission. The waiting just becomes automatic now, and the self trust just withers because you're not using it. But neuroplasticity, a beautiful gift from God, neuroplasticity works the other way too. Every single time you choose yourself and you move without waiting to be chosen and you survive that, which you will, your brain gets the new data. That's all it is. It's data. You're going to realize nobody cast me out. I'm not dead. I acted on my own authority and the world did not end. If you do that enough, the new pathway forms, like the one where your yes is enough to move you. You are not stuck as someone who waits to be chosen. You are one repeated choice away from becoming someone who chooses yourself by default. And the first time is the hardest. But I promise over time, one decision at a time, it just becomes who you are. You're standing in a doorway with your hand on a door that's already unlocked, waiting for someone on the other side to turn the handle for you. And that's it. Like, bitch, that's the whole thing. The door to your life is not locked. It never was. There's no key that you're missing. There's no permission slip you have to be handed. There's no bouncer checking whether you're on the list. The handle is right there. Your hand is on it, and you're standing there waiting for someone else to do the one thing only you can do, which is turn that shit and walk through. You have convinced yourself the door is locked. That is easier than admitting that's been open the whole time. You just feel like an idiot because you're scared. Because you're scared to walk through that shit. A locked door is not your fault. A locked door means you're waiting on a key, waiting on a locksmith, waiting on someone else. None of that requires you to be brave. But an unlocked door that you refuse to open, that shit's all on you. All of it. And I think somewhere you know it. You know it's unlocked, and that's exactly why you keep pretending you're still waiting for the key. Turn the handle because nobody's going to do it for you. The door has been open the whole time, and I see you. And let me tell you what I see, because this is what I do. I see someone who has been waiting to be picked her entire life and doesn't even realize she's still doing it. You're waiting for the invitation. You're waiting for the sign. You wait for someone to go first so you know it's safe. And you have dressed all of that waiting up as like some sort of patience or humility or timing, when what it actually is just fear. It's fear performing. And underneath all of it, I see someone who's already chosen and just can't feel it yet. The purpose is in you. The alignment is real. I can see it as clearly as I can see anything. You are not waiting to become worthy of the thing. You're already the person for that shit. And the only gap between you and it is that you're still waiting for the world to confirm what heaven already declared. Stop waiting for the confirmation. You will be waiting forever. And forever is not as long as you think. And every system, every bullshit system around you profits from you believing that permission comes from the outside. Social media is built entirely on the wait to be chosen. The likes, the follows, the validation metrics, all of it trains you to measure your worth by how much the crowd approves of you. It keeps performing for the pick instead of moving on your own authority, because a person waiting to be chosen keeps posting, keeps checking, keeps feeding the machine. Someone who already knows she is chosen doesn't need the metrics to tell her that she's real. The whole traditional path is built on being selected. Get into the school, get hired, get promoted, get approved from the person above you. It conditions you for decades to believe that advancement comes from someone higher up to choose you. So that when that time comes for you to really choose yourself, you don't even know that it's an option. You keep looking up the ladder for someone to reach down and pull you up when the whole time you could have just climbed. My entrepreneurs, this is us. We have to choose ourselves, especially here. And culture is going to sell you endless ways to earn worthiness, because the person who believes she has to earn the right to exist fully is a person who will keep buying that next thing that promises to finally make her enough. Nobody in that machine profits from you knowing that you know who the fuck you are and that you're chosen. The truth ends the whole transaction. So nobody's going to tell you except me. And I'm telling you today that you're already chosen. And everything selling you the path to being chosen is selling you something you already own. If this episode is speaking to you, my friend, send it to the person you love who has been waiting to be picked, and then walk out of your own waiting room too, because you've been in there long enough. Before David was king, he is my favorite. I know I talk about him a lot, don't I? Before David was king, before he fought Goliath, before anyone knew his name, the prophet Samuel came to his father's house to anoint the next king of Israel from among the sons. And if you guys haven't watched this on Angel Studios, it's such a cute movie. So he lines up the sons, the tall one, the strong one, the impressive one, the ones that look like kings. And Samuel went down the line, and God said, no, not him, not him, not him. 7 sons, oil passed over. And Samuel asked, are these all of them? And the father basically said, well, there is the youngest, but he's out in the field with the sheep. Nobody even thought to bring him in. He's so overlooked. They did not even consider him worth calling to his own anointing. His whole family. David was chosen while he was doing the unglamorous, unsexy, mundane work. Unseen, uncalled, not even invited to the room where they were choosing. He did not campaign for it. He did not wait in lineup hoping to be picked. He was out doing what he was supposed to be doing, and God chose him anyway. Because God had already chosen him long before Samuel even showed up. You are David in the field with the sheep, overlooked by the people who choose based on who looks impressive in the lineup. Already chosen by the God who sees what they can't. Stop trying to get into the lineup. Stop trying to look impressive enough to get picked by people. You were already anointed while you were out doing the quiet work. Go live like the chosen one you already are. Choose yourself out loud this week. Pick the thing that you've been waiting for permission to do and do it on your own authority. No invitation, no sign, no one else going first. Like you go first. And stop auditioning. Every time you catch yourself performing for someone else's bullshit approval before you ever let yourself move, call yourself out on that. And then move without the approval. You already have the only one that counts. Act like the chosen one. Not arrogant, but be certain. Move through your life like someone who already got picked by the highest authority there is because you did. Let that change how you carry yourself, how fast you move, how little you need the crowd to confirm you. Nobody's coming. I want you to feel that all the way down. No one is going to wake up and live your life for you. No one is going to walk through the door and choose you and hand you the permission you've spent years waiting for. There is no magic wand. There is no committee. There is no receptionist about to call your name. The waiting room you've been sitting in was built by you, and the door of it's unlocked. It's unlocked. You were already chosen. The king already handpicked you, already set you apart, already assigned you a purpose that no one else can touch. Everything inside of you, and you're standing there holding a yes from God and waiting for a maybe from the world and calling the maybe more real. That's the fucking tragedy. Not that you were not chosen, it's that you were chosen and you spent your one life waiting for lesser people to confirm it instead of just believing it and moving. Stop waiting to be picked. You will die in the waiting room, anointed and unused, chosen and still sitting down, while the person who needed exactly what you carry waits for someone who never came because you never showed up. You were already chosen. Now get the fuck up and choose yourself, or spend the rest of your life waiting for a knock that's never going to come.